Oh man. Did you know that I built a zoo one time? Okay, this isn't the zoo. This is actually just a holding area where the animals are right now because the zoo had to get moved because things happen quickly on this island, right? So we built this big zoo next door to this. Beautiful, big, open area for all the animals to walk around. It was amazing. Crocodiles, birds, snakes, I mean, all these sorts of exotic animals. And it was awesome for a very short period of time, pretty much exactly when it got full, when it got finished, I should say. That was when we had to move because the mall came in. So we moved them over here, and they're in cages now. So the family that I run our hotel with, you guys probably have seen me hosting events and stuff down at the White House, right? So this is the same family that owns these animals. And like I say, this isn't the zoo. This is just a holding area, so don't get all caught up about the cages and stuff. These are big-ass cages. They're taken care of very well. But, it's one of those things, right? We built this zoo, and the idea was to, the tourists love coming and looking at animals, right? So we give the animals a safe, healthy environment to breed, right? So that they can breed. And then, because a lot of the animals here are endangered, so they get bred and then they reproduce, and then there's more animals. That's the idea. And then we use the funds from the tourists coming to look at the animals to help pay for the breeding, right? And we don't sell the animals or something. We put them back into nature as they're being bred. That's the business model. And it was actually working very well. But like I say, things happen quickly and randomly around here, and they decided to build a giant mall there. So we had to close the zoo literally the same month that we finished construction. And we were working on that for about a year. Sunk some money into it, sunk a lot of time into it. Zero ROI, but it was an amazing experience hanging out with these exotic animals. Hanging out with the owners of this place is amazing. These people are very cool. So I just wanted to come in here and show you guys the zoo. I mean, just a holding tank, right? Down there is a giant crocodile. As you can see, it's being built still. They're increasing the holding tank area while they get the land ready for the next part of the zoo, right? Which I will not be part of because we're leaving. So the zoo was an experience, It was one of those things like, I would be like, okay, guys, paint the cage red or something. And I'd come back and it would be blue, right? And I'd be like, why is it blue? And they'd be like, sir, because that's all we had was blue paint. And you're like, I said, I didn't say blue. But these are the things that when you're dealing with local staff in a third world country, these are the things you need to be aware of. They like to just act without, thinking, thinking very much. So it was a very interesting experience. I learned a lot about animals. There's a ton of animals around here that I didn't know much about. Zoos and civets and all these crazy things, monkeys, right? Maybe I'll see if we can see some of the birds. See, like these birds, these are endangered hawks. And in the original zoo, we had a giant area for them to fly around in, like this guy, right? Giant area for them to fly around in. Trees were all inside, canopies and stuff. There was flower, like it was a beautiful space. But unfortunately, they're just here in this holding tank right now. But I think the other part of the zoo should be ready in a month or two. So don't worry, they're not going to be here for long. There's a giant snake right here. He just lives in that water. Again, the other zoo where they live, he has a giant place to stay there. Right, and then we have, of course, little things like this for the kids. Right, photo op. Anyways, I just wanted to walk around here and just take a look. It's interesting. All these animals are awesome. They're very well taken care of. And they're being bred because they're all endangered animals. So that's the main thing here. That's the thing to understand. Anyways, that's the zoo business. It was interesting, to say the least. The most interesting part was moving a crocodile that's over there moving him from the old zoo to this zoo, which is only about 500 meters away. But when it's that big, it's like, oh my God, the crocodiles are massive. Let's see. Yeah, he's there. So big. Here, I'll go above him. You can see him. All right. And that's his baby over here. So moving them was the most intense thing I've ever been a part of. We put them in a giant box and had to carry them down here. Now, of course, I wasn't doing the carrying. I was doing the watching, but man, it was intense. All right, that's the Boracay Zoo. You want to see the world's most pissed off monkey? That's the world's most pissed off monkey. All right. See you guys on the next video. If you're ever going to build a zoo, give me a shout and I can show you how.